I spent all night ghost hunting with my friend, but the texts I got when I left proved he was never there. The last picture I took with my best friend is a selfie of me standing alone in front of a rust-eaten cemetery gate. Zev and I worked the graveyard shift monitoring server farms. 12 hours a night in a room colder than a morgue, just the hum of the machines and the blinking green lights for company. You get weird ideas in a place like that. You start talking about weird shit. For months, we'd been planning to go to Bachman's Creek Cemetery, this old, forgotten plot of land a few towns over that was supposedly crawling with spirits. We just needed a night where we could both sneak out early. Last Tuesday was the night. We both put in our PTO. The plan was to punch out at 11, get there by 11:30. I told my supervisor I was feeling sick, and he just waved me off. Easy. But Zeb's boss, this real ballbuster named Croft, nailed him to his chair. Said he had a backlog of incident reports that had to be cleared before he could even think about leaving. 11 o'clock rolls around, and I'm sitting in my beat-up Civic, the engine idling, heater blasting against the October chill. Waiting. At 11:40, my phone buzzes. It's Zev. Dude, Croft's being a prick. I'm buried here. You should just go. Get the gear set up. I'll try and get out by 12:30, 1 at the latest. I'll meet you there. I felt a sting of disappointment, but what could I do? Yeah, man, no worries, I texted back. Just call me when you're pulling up. I'll let you in the gate. I was at Bachman's Creek a little after midnight. The place was even creepier than the pictures. Gnarled, leafless trees clawed at a sky with no moon. I had to leave my car on the shoulder of the road and hoof it up the gravel path. I got my gear out. A full-spectrum camcorder, a digital audio recorder, and this stupid little box called a REM pod that's supposed to go off if something messes with its energy field. I was setting the pod on a tilted headstone when I heard the crunch of gravel behind me. My whole body went tight. I turned, and it was Zev. Just standing there, 10 feet away, hands shoved in his jacket pockets. Jesus, man, you scared the shit out of me, I said, my heart hammering. I didn't hear you pull up. Didn't you call? He just shrugged, a small smile on his face. Left my phone in the car. Figured I'd find you. So, this is the place, huh? Something felt off. His voice was right, but it was quiet. Flat. I chalked it up to him being pissed about work. I walked him through the setup, and we started our sweep. The night was dead. For an hour, nothing happened, just the wind whispering through the dead grass. We passed a section of small, worn-down stones, children's graves. I felt that familiar, ugly knot in my stomach you get in places like this. I set the audio recorder on one of the little stones, a lamb carved into its face. Anything you want to say? I asked the air. We waited. Silence. Then, a faint sound from the recorder's tiny speaker. A squeak. Like a dog's chew toy. Zev laughed. Probably a mouse inside the damn thing. But I wasn't laughing. It sounded wrong. We kept moving. I had the camcorder running the whole time, and every time I pointed it at Zev, the autofocus would freak out, blurring him and sharpening the gravestones behind him. Can you point that thing somewhere else? He finally snapped. The light's giving me a headache. By 2 a.m., the cold had sunk into my bones. I was exhausted and on edge. I think I'm done for the night, man, I said. I'm not feeling this. He agreed way too quickly. Yeah, let's bounce. Back at the front gate, I had a stupid idea. Hey, let's get a picture. Proof we actually did it. He hesitated for a second, then gave me that same flat smile. Sure, why not? I held my phone up, flipped the camera, and snapped a picture of us in the ghostly white of the flash. We said our goodbyes, and I watched him walk down the gravel path into the darkness. I never saw his car. The second I got in my Civic and started the engine, I took my phone off airplane mode. It buzzed like an angry hornet, a string of texts, all from Zev. The first one, sent at 12:15 a.m., Croft is still here. Fucker won't leave. Don't think I'm gonna make it tonight, man. I'm so sorry. The second, from 1:28 a.m., finally leaving this hellhole. You still out there? Hope you caught something good. My blood turned to ice water. My fingers were numb as I scrolled to the last message sent just 3 minutes ago. Allie, you heading home? Call me when you get this. My throat closed up. I hit his name on the screen. It rang twice before he picked up. There you are, Zev's voice said, tinny and distant. But it was his real voice, full of life, not the flat, dead thing I'd been listening to all night. In the background, I could hear the faint sound of a sportscast. Everything good? Did you see anything crazy? Stop fucking with me, I choked out. How did you get home so fast? I just left you. There was a long pause. Ollie, what are you talking about? I never went. Didn't you get my texts? I just got in the door 20 minutes ago. I hung up. I don't remember the drive home. It's a complete blank. The next night at work, I couldn't look at him. I told my boss I needed to pull the security archives from Zev's sector for a system audit. A lie. I found the footage from the night before. I watched, my stomach churning, as the time code crept past midnight, 12:30, 10 air. And there he was. Zev, clear as day, sitting at his desk, typing. The log showed him finally clocking out at 1:26 a.m. When I got home, my hands were shaking so bad I could barely get the SD card from my camcorder into my laptop. I clicked open the video file. It was just me. Hours of footage of me. Walking through the cemetery alone. Talking to empty space. I saw myself gesturing to my right, explaining where I'd put the REM pod, to nothing. I saw myself laughing at a joke nobody told. The audio was just my voice, the wind, and my own footsteps. Then I found it. The selfie. My face pale and strained. A forced smile. Behind me, the black iron of the Bachman's Creek gate. And beside me, where Zev, where that thing should have been, there was nothing. Just empty, black night.